The Galactic Council's observation deck fell into stunned silence as the human vessel materialized from hyperspace. Even Ambassador X Thrax, normally composed with all four of their breathing sacs perfectly regulated, found themselves holding their respiratory cycle in sheer awe. The human battleship Terra's Vengeance didn't just enter the space station's vicinity, it commanded it. At 3 kilometers in length, the vessel dwarfed even the Jexthal dreadnoughts, which had been the pride of the Council's combined fleets for the past 3 centuries. But it wasn't just the size that struck the gathered diplomatic corps into silence. It was the sheer audacity of its design. "Impossible," whispered Chief Engineer Xin Sei, their crystalline form vibrating with agitation. Their hull, its monoatomic graphene layers with quantum-locked plasma channels. "We theorized it could be done, but the energy requirements alone would require a miniaturized star," completed Captain Rodriguez, the human representative who had just stepped onto the observation deck. Her uniform bore the insignia of the United Earth Fleet, a simple design that somehow managed to convey both elegance and threat. Or as we call it, our Mark VII fusion core. The gathered aliens turned to face her, many of their species exhibiting their various signs of disbelief: color changes, spine extensions, electromagnetic pulses. Rodriguez smiled, an expression that most species had learned to interpret from humans, though few understood its many subtleties. "But that's not what really interests you, is it?" she continued, walking to the panoramic window. "You're wondering about the weapon systems you can't detect. The ones your scanners are telling you should be there, but somehow aren't showing up on any frequency." X-Thrax's neural tendrils curled in agreement. Their species had been spacefaring for 50,000 years, and they prided themselves on being able to analyze any technological advancement. But the human vessel defied their most sophisticated scanning equipment. "Phase-shifted quantum arrays," Rodriguez explained, though her tone suggested she was greatly simplifying the concept. "The weapons exist in a slightly different dimensional state until the moment of firing. Can't detect what isn't technically there." A low murmur rippled through the assembled diplomats. The hegemony war had ended just 3 years ago, with humanity fighting alongside the Council against the aggressive hegemony species. But while humans had proven themselves valuable allies, they had kept their most advanced military technology closely guarded. Until now. "This demonstration," Rodriguez continued, "is not meant to intimidate, but to reassure. Earth has voted to become a full member of the Galactic Council, and we believe in transparency with our allies." Xin Sa's crystalline form chimed in confusion. "But surely, sharing such advanced military technology—" "Oh, this." Rodriguez gestured at the battleship. "This is last year's model. We're here because we've detected something coming from the galaxy's core. Something big. And we thought you should know that when it arrives, humanity stands ready to defend not just Earth, but all Council species." The observation deck erupted in overlapping questions, but X-Thrax noticed something that others missed. Behind Rodriguez's confident smile was a flicker of genuine concern. Whatever was coming from the galactic core had humanity worried enough to reveal technology they'd kept hidden for years. As if to punctuate this revelation, Terra's Vengeance smoothly executed a maneuver that should have been impossible for a vessel its size. It rotated on multiple axes simultaneously, its quantum-locked plasma channels briefly visible as streams of blue fire against the void. The display of agility sent another wave of astonished murmurs through the crowd. "The full technical specifications will be made available to Council Military Command," Rodriguez announced, "along with our long-range sensor data about the galactic core situation. We believe that together we can face whatever's coming." X-Thrax found themselves moving forward, their diplomatic training warring with burning curiosity. "Captain Rodriguez, humanity has been spacefaring for barely 2 centuries. How did you achieve such advances so quickly?" Rodriguez's smile took on a different quality pride, mixed with what humans called irony. Remember how your species first found us? Fighting each other across our own planet? That drive, that constant push to gain advantage, to innovate or die. We never lost it. We just found a better purpose for it. She turned back to the window, where Terra's vengeance had been joined by two smaller vessels that seemed to phase in and out of normal space as they moved. We humans have a saying, necessity is the mother of invention. When we realized we weren't alone in the universe, we understood the necessity of being ready for anything. What you see here isn't just a warship. It's humanity's pledge to defend our new family among the stars. The gathered diplomats watched in continued amazement as the human vessels performed a synchronized demonstration of their capabilities. But X-Thrax watched Rodriguez instead, understanding finally dawning in their ancient mind. Humans hadn't just advanced quickly, they had done so with a purpose. Their technology, their ships, their very presence here, it was all driven by an intense desire to protect and preserve. Perhaps that was why they had achieved in centuries what took other species millennia. They weren't just building weapons or ships, they were building shields for their entire extended family of species. As X-Thrax observed the awe on their fellow diplomats' faces, they realized that humanity hadn't just earned its place in the Council, it had become its guardian. The silence that had greeted the ship's arrival transformed into something else, hope. Whatever was coming from the Galactic core would face not just humanity's impressive technology, but the combined strength of all Council species, now united more than ever under the shield of their youngest, most surprising members.